So a very good day, everyone, and to Professor Dr. Muhammad Naimi bin Muhammad Noor. My name is Wesley, metric number 261538, and I will act as the role of Mr. Idris bin Yusuf, who is the Independent Non-Executive Director for KGB.
My name is Tan Chai-jin, matrix number 261992. I will act as the chairman of the board meeting, who is General Tan Sri Muhammad bin Muhammad Ali.
My name is Lim Zihan with metric number 264237, and I am playing the role as Dato' Nazir bin Amin as the Executive Director.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kip Singh, metric number 264247. My role is non-independent, non-executive director, Tuan Sri Lim Teng Yi.
Good morning to Doctor. My name is Tan Jayen, metric number 264441. My role is secretariat, which is Madam Jasmine Binti Ahmad.
Greetings, my name is Xiao Tian Singh, matrix number 265057, and I will play the role of Dato' Akbar bin Shukri, the Managing Director of Kedsonic Group Berhad.
So good morning to all our directors and secretary. I would like to start the meeting today. First, I would like to welcome all of you and thanks everyone for attending this board of director meetings, which is conducted through Microsoft Teams. Before we start the meetings, I am Tan Sri Muhammad bin Muhammad Ali, the chairman of Kedsonic Group Berhad. Next, I would like to introduce the company secretary that coordinate these meetings, who is Madam Jasmine Binti Ahmad. Our another secretary, Madam Liu Chu Wei, was unable to attend these meetings due to medical reasons. So generally, today we will be mainly discussing about the 10th virtual annual general meetings that is going to held soon on the 28th of May 2021. And the matters on the NATO Natan's notice of removal and to get the board approval on the business of the AGM. As I received the attendees list from Madam Jasmine that confirmed to attend the board meeting, now I would like to confirm the attendees by calling the name, and you can say yes as you attended the meeting, and if there is no response, I will assume that the person is absent. Dato' Abba bin Sukri.
Yes.
Dato' Nazir bin Amin.
Yes.
Tuan Sri Lim Teng Yi.
Yes.
Mr. Idris bin Yusuf.
Yes.
Thanks for responding. Since everyone has attended the meeting and fulfilled the quorum of the meeting, which is at least 2 directors, I declare that the notice of the board meeting have been circulated for the prescribed period was taken as read. So, Madam Jasmine, can you explain the procedure of meeting and voting?
Yes, the procedure of the meeting will be as outlined in the notice of board meeting. The chairman will announce to end the discussion of any resolution and proceed to the voting. All the resolutions outlined in the notice of board meeting will be voted by raise of hand. Every director has 1 vote, and if the resolution is voted agreed by every director, it will be considered as approved, and also if the most of the director agree about it, it will also be approved. So now I would like to a director present at a board meeting is present to have agreed to and to have voted in favor of a resolution of the boards unless he expressly dissents our votes to object against our resolution in the meeting. So if there is no question, we will proceed to our first agenda.
All right, thank you, Madam Jasmine. So now we will go into the first agenda, which is to review and approve the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st of December 2020. I believe every one of you have reviewed the statements before the meetings. Since the external auditor is not able to attend today, so can we have our managing director to present on the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st of December 2020? Please, Dato' Abba.
Sure, Chairman. Greetings, everyone. You may refer to the copy of financial statement provided in the board meeting package. The auditor has expressed an unqualified opinion that our financial statement give a true and fair views for this financial year and comply with the MFRS and Companies Act 2016.
Thank you, Dr. Abba. Now I would like to invite the Board of Directors to comment or ask questions regarding the financial statement of 2020.
Okay, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, I am glad to see the growing revenue and other operating income. However, I am dissatisfied with the cash flow performance. The cash and cash equivalent had dropped significantly from 2,333,835 ringgit to 496,640.
Thanks for your concern. For your information, it is mostly due to the disposal of the investment in subsidiary companies, which is the Kedsonic Group Technology Limited, as stated in the Note A of the Statement of Cash Flow. This disposal had resulted in cash outflow of 6,342,125 ringgit as a major portion in our operating activities. Besides, we are actually continuing to review and examine our portfolio on a regular basis and divest any current non-profitable entity if necessary to improve the overall profitability and cash flow. In addition, we are also analyzing any prospects for investment in new potential business that may arise in this crisis.
Thank you, Dr. Nazir. So anyone else have any questions or comments?
No.
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 No. Then we will proceed to the voting sessions. Please show your hand if you have no objection to the audited financial statement. Since we have a simple majority of the votes, I declare that the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st of December 2020 is approved and shall be brought to the AGM. Next, we proceed to the next agenda to discuss the fees and benefits of directors for this coming year. I would like to invite Mr. Idris, member of the Audit Committee, to elaborate regarding this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Due to the current economic uncertainties, we propose the directors' fee and benefits stay unchanged as previous years. The pandemic has had significant impact to our business. As a result, we intend to adopt a cost minimization strategy to avoid incurring unneeded expenses.
Yes, I agree with that.
I understand your point of view. However, director fees and benefits keep the directors motivated to work in the best interest of the shareholders. Failure to do so may result in conflict or agency issues between the director and shareholders. That's my point.
Thanks for your point, Puan Sri Lim Teng Yi. After reviewing the current market situations, we can see that the most of the business are still struggling hard to sustain in the crisis of the pandemic. The government announcement of the emergency declarations and the rise of COVID-19 cases exacerbate the current economy. We should restrain this reserve for another purpose in order to enhance our business sustainability. In addition, we did our utmost to secure the directors' benefits by not reducing the remunerations, but instead to remain constant as previous years.
I agree with Encik Idris. In this crisis time, directors should put additional efforts to consider unforeseen impacts which could bring further negative implications. This requires embracing the new norms and plan for the future of the business.
As the leader, directors must be responsible and serve as a role models for the commitment necessary to navigate through the crisis. I am confident in saying that if the company's performance improves, the fees and benefits of directors will increase for the coming years.
Does anyone need further clarification regarding this matter?
So far, no. Yeah.
No from me.
Yeah, no.
No, Mr. Chairman.
No for me also.
Then we shall proceed to the voting sessions. Please show your hand if you agree to the director fees and benefits to remain constant as previous year for this coming year. So there is 3 votes. So since we have a simple majority of the votes, we have approved the director fees and benefits remain constant as previous years for this coming years. We may continue with our third agenda, which is the declaration of the dividends. Madam Jasmine, may you brief us about the declaration of the dividend for the current financial year?
Yes, Chairman. The company has not paid or declared any dividends since the end of the previous financial year, according to the director's report. The board of directors also does not recommend paying any dividends for the current financial year. In accordance with Section 131, subsection 1 of Company Act 2016, a company may only make a distribution of dividend to the shareholders out of profits of the company if the company is sold. As a result, our company suffer losses in this current financial year, so there will be no dividend paid.
Thanks for your information. Does everyone agree with this?
Yes.
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 Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Thank you. So we might move to the next agenda without wasting the time. Now, I would like to invite our secretary to brief us through the issue of a retirement and re-election of directors.
Thank you, Chairman. Based on Section 205 of Company Act 2016, 1/3 of directors will retire from office at the subsequent annual general meeting. In our company, there are 6 directors, so 2 directors will retire in the upcoming AGM later.
How do we decide who is going to retire?
The retirement shall be the directors that have the longest in office since directors' last election. It is also common for the Articles of Association to provide that a managing director will be not required to comply with the provision on retirement by rotation. In this case, after the director election, Dato' Najir bin Amin and Mr. Idris bin Insof have served for 36 months and 28 months respectively.
I think I will be retiring on the upcoming AGM.
I also agree to retire at the next AGM.
I agree with both statements. Therefore, Dato' Nazir bin Amin and Mr. Idris bin Yusuf will retire at the upcoming annual general meeting, and they can be re-elected if they are qualified. Next, I would like to invite our secretary to proceed to our next agenda, which is concerning about the issue of removal of director.
Yes, Chairman, during the 4th day of May 2021 year, our boards had received a special notice from Hamzan Maslan and Abdul Hamid Badru, who are the members of our company that have the shareholdings of more than 10% of our company payout capital. The content of this special notice is regarding the removal of Dato' Najir Nair as director in this company. So that's all.
So as far as I'm concerned, the expiration date of the director period for Dato' Nair has not yet been reached. To my concern, do we have the rights to remove a director before the expirations of director periods of office?
Yes, Ms. Idris, do refer on Section 206, subsection 1B of the Companies Act 2016. A director may be removed from position as a director by ordinary resolution before reaching the expiration period. Therefore, the boards of directors do have the right to execute the removal of director from position as director before reaching the expiration period.
Regarding to this proposal of removing Dato' Nathan Nair from his position as director of the companies, have the members mentioned any reason in the special notice?
No, Dr. Appa, they have yet not given us any comment or statements regarding to the reason why Dato' Nathan Nair should be removed from the position as the director.
As from my point of view, I don't agree to remove Dato' Nathan Nair from his position as director of the company. As far as we know, we actually know that Dato' Nathan Nair has given his full commitment to the company since he started to serve to the company. His success during the re-election in May 2020 also demonstrated that his capability of being a director of the company. Also, based on the section 207 subsection 1 of the Company Act 2016, the company shall send a copy of special notice to the director when the company receives the special notice regarding to the removal of director. Other than that, the director himself should be given the rights to provide oral or written representation in terms of the resolution of removal. Therefore, I don't think that it is suitable for us to simply proceed with the removal of Dato' Nathan Nair as the director of our company.
I second on the view of Dato' Nazil. I don't think it is not a good idea for us to carry on the removal of Dato' Nathan Nair as the director without any reasonable explanation.
Thank you. Then we will now proceed to the voting sections. Please show your hand if you agree on the removal of Dato' Nathan Nair from his position as the director of the company. From the result, I conclude that there is no consensus being made in terms of the removal of Dato' Nathan Nair from his positions as the director of the company, while this agenda will be moved to the AGM for further discussion. So the meeting will now proceed to the next item on the agenda concerning about the appointment of new director. Madam Jasmine, will you give us a brief about the current issue of the agenda?
Sure, Chairman. The special notice that we received from the Hamza Maslan and Abdul Hamid Badru at the 4th day of May 2021 had also mentioned about the requisition for an extraordinary general meeting for the discussion regarding to the appointment of Ms. Sani Abdullah as the new director of the company. According to Section 125 of Constitution, the boards have the rights to appoint another person as a new director for taking the place from the old directors that have been removed.
Since there is no consensus being made in terms of the removal of the director, does that mean that the appointment of the new director could also be postponed?
I do agree on the point of view from Puan Sri Lim Tangi, as we have yet to determine if the removal of the director will be carried out after the voting during the AGM.
As so, then I would declare that the agenda in terms on the appointment of Mr. Sani Abdullah as the new director in place of the removal of Dato' Nathan Nair will be postponed until the result of the removal of director is being determined. Then we shall discuss about the next agenda, which is the agenda is the change of the company name that is agreed in the last board meeting of 20th of April 2021. There's a draft of circular of proposed change of name of the company that's distributed to everyone, and I believe all of you have reviewed the circular. So I would like to invite Dr. Nadia to proceed with the explanation about the proposed change of name.
Thank you, Chairman. The proposed change of company name was announced on 20th of April 2021, which is the company proposed to change the name from Kedsonic Group Berhad to Kedsonic Berhad. It can be said that the proposed name was approved by the Companies Commission of Malaysia, which is CCM, and the reservation of the proposed name was extended to 28th of June 2021. The proposed name will be effective from the date of the issuance of the notice of registration on the new name by the CCM if it is approved by the shareholders. Is there any opinion about the change of company name?
I agree with the proposed change of company name since there is company rebranding exercise. By changing the company name, it can be better to reflect the main business activities of Kedsonic Group Berhad, which the public will have a clear mindset about the product or services provided by our company.
Further, is any effect towards the different parties and capitals in the company if the company names has been changed?
There is no effect will be incurred on the issue and pay up capital, net asset, earning per share, gearing, and substantial shareholders' shareholdings if the company name is changed. Moreover, none of the directors and shareholders of the company will be affected due to the change of name by having any interest directly or indirectly.
I see. Thank you, Chairman, for the explanation. Since there's no effect will incur due to this change of company's name, and it can be more clearly reflecting the core business activities of the company, I agree to change the company's name.
Well, since the majority of the directors agree to change the company names, it will become one of the agenda on the forthcoming AGM. Recently, the Companies Commission Malaysia has published a guideline regarding the beneficial ownership BO disclosures. Although it does not apply to our existing company, but it is required to us to obtain BO details immediately for our new company, Kedsonic Berhad. Hence, it is important to us to understand BO details, and I would like to invite our Secretary, Madam Jasmine, to further explain about it.
Thank you, Chairman. Now I would like to explain who is eligible to act as beneficial owners and the concept of BO. Generally, the person that qualified to act as BO can be defined as the natural person that ultimately possesses, controls, and owns a legal entity. According to Companies Act 2016, a clarification is needed to ensure that a company can determine the natural person who ultimately own or have control over the company. Hence, it is significant to read the definition of BO together with Section 8 of CA 2016, as it will provide a clarification related with the ultimate owner of share, which cover both perspectives of ownership and effective control. Besides that, the BO also provides appropriate clarification and modification in order to ensure all legal entities comply with the BO reporting framework. That's all for the concept of BO. Is there any question?
I have a question on how are we going to determine the beneficial owner of our new limited liability partnership company, Kedsonic Berhad.
In order to determine BO of our new company, it is required for us to first determine the natural person that fulfill one or more of the following criteria, which can refer to Annex A of the BO guideline. First one, the person should hold directly or indirectly a right of share to 20% or above for the capital contribution to our new company. Secondly, the person should hold directly or indirectly a right of 20% or above to work in our new company. And thirdly, the person should possess the right to exercise the ultimate effective control, whether formal or informal, over our new company. And lastly, the person should hold directly or indirectly to the right to appoint or remove most of the authorities that related with the management.
Oh, I see. Thank you for the clarification, Madam Jasmine.
Jasmine, I have another question on what processes should be carried out in accordance with beneficial ownership reporting framework.
In order to process beneficial ownership in accordance with the reporting framework, our new company should carry out the following methods, which the first method is to take reasonable steps to identify, obtain, and verify the BO information, such as their personal information and also the types of BO. Second, record the information gathered to the register of BO. And the third one, keep the accurate and updated BO information that able to be accessed in a timely manner. And fourth, immediately update the BO information when there are any changes of the particular of BO and notify the register. And fifth, store the BO information and supporting document at the register office or where the register of member is being kept. And lastly, give access to competent authorities, law enforcement agencies, the BO whose name is entered in the register of BO, and also other person that authorized by the BO.
Thank you for the detailed explanation toward the process of beneficial ownership.
So is there any more question from the floor?
No from me.
No.
No.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Since there is no more question, I believe that all of you have a clear mindset about the beneficial ownership details that is required for Kedsonic policy and Berhad. Now, we shall move on to the next agenda. The agenda is the authorization of the issuance of share to the directors. For information, we need to obtain the authority again in the coming AGM. What is opinion regarding this matter, Nato Najib?
Isn't it we have already get the approval in our last AGM, which is the 9th AGM on May 2020? Why should we get the approval again in this coming AGM?
According to Section 76, subsection 3A of Companies Act 2016, an approval expires in the case where a company is required to hold an AGM. At the conclusion of the AGM held next after the approval was given, or at the expiry of the period within which the next AGM is required to be held after the approval was given, whichever is the earlier. The approval to issue the shares that the director obtained during the previous AGM has expired. Hence, we need to obtain the new approval in this upcoming AGM.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Madam Jasmine, for the explanation. So will there be any changes in the share capital, for example, the issuance of additional shares?
For your information, we have 10,276,280 units of the ordinary shares, which amount to the same amount in Ringgit Malaysia. Now there is no planning to issue any additional shares. So any other question regarding the authorization of issuance of share to the directors?
No.
No.
No, Mr. Chairman.
No.
No.
As a conclusion, we need to get the approval of the authorization from in the upcoming AGM. So the 10th agenda will be the reappointment and fixing the remuneration of the auditor. Madam Jasmine and Puan Sri Lim Teng Yi, please brief us on this issue.
Thank you, Chairman. As previously mentioned in the meeting, Maersk Crown Malaysia PLT would be reappointed as the company auditor. Besides, according to Section 270 Company Act 2016, the existing auditor has been deemed to be reappointed if there is no notice of objection received at least 30 days before circulation of audited financial statement.
Anyone disagree with the reappointment of Maersk Crown Malaysia PLT?
No.
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 No, Mr. Chairman.
No.
Okay, we will proceed with the fixing of auditor remunerations.
According to subsection 274, subsection 1B, the remuneration of the company auditor shall be fixed by the board and looking at the commitments and quality of works towards the company. For the previous year, the group paid 171,000 for auditor's remuneration, an increase of 5,613 over the 2019. I recommend that the sum should be fixed at the same amount as this year.
I agree, as we have to cut costs to keep up our company going concern, especially during this economic downturn.
We shall fix the audit remuneration as fiscal year 2020. Anyone disagree with this?
No.
No.
No for me.
No.
No.
Hence, Maersk Crown Malaysia PLT will be reappointed as the company auditor with a remuneration of 171,555 per annum fixed for the auditor. This will be one of the agenda discussed at the upcoming AGM. So we have reached this far. I hope all of you still can continue this meeting until the end. Well, we have conducted 3 voting sessions for approval auditor financial statements, director fees, and benefits, and removal of Dato' Nathan from the directors. So here I would like to announce the result of the voting. First, there is no objection to the auditor financial statements. It means that our financial statements are appropriately disclosed and reported accordingly. Everyone in this meeting raised up their hands for the votings. Second, regarding the director fees and benefits, the meeting has agreed to have the same amount as the previous year for the director fees and benefits for next year. Thirdly, there is no one agreed to remove Dato' Nathan, and we shall bring this issue to the forthcoming AGM. Before we continue to the next agenda, is there anyone who has any question?
Sorry for interrupting. I would like to comment regarding the director's fees and benefits.
Yes, please.
I hope that the board can consider my opinion that this may somehow affect our operation in the future. I really appreciate everyone's hard work to make this company a success, either before and during this pandemic. But if we are concerned about the sustainability of our company, we must also restructure the company's spending during this pandemic. But if there is no changes after this, I will still respect the majority decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato' Abba, for your concern about our company's sustainability. Besides, I found that any decision that made by voting are the best result, because it is our company principle to be the company that apply democracy in our decision makings. We will stick to the majority votes, and if there is any changes must be made, we will still conduct a meeting so that everyone can involve in the decision making. I hope it's clear now. So yeah, I would like to announce the overall result that we have discussed during the meeting so far. So as through the voting, we are already approved on the auditor financial statement year ended 31st of December 2020, and we agree that the financial statements are appropriately present. Everyone's agree and approved. For the second agenda, we also decide to have the same amount as the previous financial year for the director fees and benefits. There are 3 votes for yes and 2 votes for no. And there is no dividend will have been declared for this current financial year. And for the fourth agenda, at the upcoming annual general meeting, Dato' Nazir bin Amin and Mr. Iris bin Yusuf will retire, but they can be re-elected if they are eligible. And for the fifth agenda, the requisition to remove Dato' Nathan Nazir have been declined, and this issue will be brought up to the forthcoming AGM for a final decision. While Mr. Sani Abdullah appointment as a new director will be postponed until the conclusion of the AGM. We also decided to change our company name from Kedsonic Berhad to Kedsonic Berhad. And the beneficial owner disclosure will be used for the new company, which is Kedsonic Pauling Senjang Berhad. And we also obtained approval for the authorization of the issuance of shares to the directors and will become one of the AGM agenda. And we also agreed to reappoint Maersk Crown Malaysia PLT as the company auditor with a remuneration of the same amount as per previous year. So next, we could move on to the next agenda, which is the process of the virtual AGM. So modus operandi to the alarming issue COVID-19, Malaysia has implemented the movement control 3.0 to curb this outbreak. So there are guidelines to be adhered during these periods, and therefore the best that we can do is continue the AGM to be conducted virtually as per previous year. So Madam Jasmine, can you brief us how this AGM will be carried out?
Sure, Dato' Chairman. Heads up to all directors, the 10th AGM of our company will be conducted on Friday, 28 May of year 2021 at 10:30 a.m. Security Commission Malaysia had issued a guidance on the conduct of general meeting during this pandemic. And due to the unpredictable which phase of movement restriction will be imposed, fully virtual meeting will be the most suitable mode of meetings. Only the essential individuals up to 8 persons are allowed to physically present at Tricore Leadership Room in Avenue 3 to organize the fully virtual general meeting. All shareholders will participate in the meeting remotely or online from home. Tricore IHH Online will be the platform for the 10th AGM live streaming. The guidelines on participating in this AGM had all been prepared in the document of the board meeting package that provided to all directors.
All right, thanks for your explanation. So our 10th AGM will be conducted fully virtual.
So Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Financial Officer, and the Company Secretary will present physically with you, Dato' Chairman.
Yes, with the representative of the pool administrator, the scrutineer, and a few of providing audio and visual support for the fully virtual general meeting as well. So anyone oppose these decisions?
No.
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 Since there is no objections, let's move on to our next agenda, which is the update for the poll voting methods to be used for the upcoming AGM. Madam Jasmine, over to you.
Thank you, Chairman. The AGM will be voted by a way of poll. Tricore Investor and Issuing House Services Sandrian Berhad will be appointed as poll administrator to conduct the poll by way of e-voting, and Deloitte Risk Advisory Sandrian Berhad as scrutiny to validate the poll result. The e-voting guideline had also been provided inside the board meeting package. The voting can be done by either phone app or the Tricore TIIH online while having the live stream going on.
All right, thanks, Madam Jasmine, for the explanation on the poll voting system.
So how about the shareholders that do not have internet access? How are they going to be involved in the voting session?
They may cast a vote via proxy form appointing the chairperson of the meeting to vote on the members' behalf. The proxy forms should be submitted within the stipulated time.
All right, any question from the floor? If no, let's vote. If you agree with using this online voting platform, please raise your hand. Okay, so the resolution is passed. The board has approved to adopt this in the next AGM. For our 10th AGM, it will be conducted fully virtual on 28th of May 2021, Friday at 10:30 a.m. in Tricore. So in this AGM, the following issue will be brought. The first is to present the audited financial statements, and the second is the requisition to remove Dato' Nathan. The third is to re-elect of the directors. The fourth is reappointment of auditors. The fifth is to approve the payment of director fees and benefits. The sixth is the authority of the director to issue the shares. And the seventh is the change of company name. So are there any queries to be raised regarding the agenda of our 10th AGM? If no, I conclude the agenda of our 10th AGM has passed the resolutions. Now I announce that the ordinary resolution to hold the 10th AGM virtually on the 28th May 2021, Friday at 10 a.m. has passed. Therefore, Madam Jasmine, please issue a notice for our 10th AGM comprising of the details like the date, time, venue, and agenda at least 21 days before the meetings.
Sure, no problem.
Before I proceed to adjourn these meetings, on behalf of the board, I would like to appreciate the contribution made by everyone who is working hard for Kedsonic Group Berhad. Ladies and gentlemen, as there is no other business to be transacted at this age of meetings, I now declare the meeting closed. Thank you everyone for your support and participation. Stay home and stay safe.
Thank you.